The word in this video is sundial. Sundial. I have that in green as a science word. I'm sorry if you hear that helicopter that's going over. The military's drilling here today, so it's a little bit loud. Sundial. And the inside of that picture is this one, sundial. Sundial is a compound word. You can break it as sun, die, sundial. It actually has 3 syllables. In the South, we tend to say it as sundial, but we're losing that sound. It's sundial. And the sound spelling is sun, die, sundial. A sundial is an ancient is very old, timepiece that tells the hour by shadows shown. So this works very well in the daylight. Today we use watches and cell phones that communicate with satellites. We definitely don't use sundials. But this is an ancient timepiece, and I will tell you about the word ancient in just a second. This is a noun. It's a thing. So let's look at the word ancient, because this is a good one to know. Ancient means very, very old. And to show you what this means in a picture, I'm going to draw a timeline. So we're going to look at a sequence line. We've talked about the word sequence, so this is a form of sequence. Today, I'm going to put a dot right here. This is November 3rd of 2024. So this is now, today. I want to see the year 0 on my timeline. I am in 2024 AD, and that AD is Latin for Anno Domini, AD. The time before 0 is BC. So this is back here, I'm going to put in a 1500 because this is when the sundial was invented. 1500 BC, or we believe that it was. So the sundial is very, very old. So what happened at 0? When did BC turn into AD? 0 is the death of Christ. And even if you are not a religious person, time is still measured from that event in history, because much of written history was based on religion in some form. So the death of Christ was a significant event that divides BC from AD. And just to put in perspective for you, Christopher Columbus sailed in 1492 AD. So if we wanted to know how many years have passed since Columbus made his voyage, how could I find that? How could I tell you the number of years in this line segment that I've colored yellow? Well, we can do a little bit of math. And I can work math into anything. So let's see. Today is 2024. Columbus sailed in 1492. So I'm going to subtract to find the difference between those two dots. 4 take away 2 is 2. I can't take 2 from 9, and there's nothing here to borrow. So I'll go all the way over, get 1, and then borrow 1 there to give to this one. 12 minus 9 is 3, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So there are 532 years between Christopher Columbus and the day I'm filming this video. And that's found by some basic math. Could certainly use a calculator there to find that as well. Let me just put this in a circle and draw you a line up to here. This is where I calculated that year. Okay, these are common in social studies, these timelines, but that gives you an idea about how time is recorded. All right, on this picture, there are some things that I want to point out to you. The first thing is that this picture would not work if this is a real sundial, because a real sundial has to be sitting perfectly flat. The dial, which is this part, the circular part, must be completely flat. So my sundial would be giving the wrong time. This thing is called a gnomon. It looks like gnomon, but it's actually pronounced, it's pretty phonetic, if you take out the N. I'm sorry, the G. It's like the word gnat, those little bugs that buzz around you. If you take out the word or the letter G, you have gnomon, and that's exactly what it sounds like. So let me do, I'm totally lost here. Sorry. I want to break the syllables. Gnomon. So it's pronounced gnomon. Gnomon. The gnomon is that little thing that sticks up. So the sun would be moving up here. As the sun goes across the sky, I'm going backwards, aren't I? If this is north, south, east, west, the sun rises in the east and it moves in a westerly direction. So, as the sun moves and it shadows different parts of the gnomon in the daytime, you can tell what time it is by counting these shadows. And I'm not doing a very good job. If you're really interested, go to YouTube and look for a video about sundial. I bet you could find one and see this actually work. This is not critical. It's just, it will come into our social studies lesson, or maybe the science one, when we talk about navigating. Columbus did not have GPS. He had to rely on these ancient tools, and you'll learn about more of those when we study navigation. But I liked this word because it's a compound word. Gave me a chance to talk about that. It also gave us a chance to look at the periods of time. So the word is sundial.